Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Diane and this is my channel Diane's Sewing Room. Here I share my love of sewing, sew-alongs, sewing tips and sewing chat. Now today I want to share with you this book, Breaking the Pattern, A Modern Way to Sew. Now this is not a new book, it's been out a while and I'm sure there are lots of other people who've done reviews on this book. So what I want to do here is not so much a review, it's just what I like about it, what I'm going to be making in the future from this, the sew-alongs that I will be making and the possible fabrics that I'm going to be using. Please let me know if you've made any of these patterns before, which ones were your favourites and what you might like to see in future in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. So it's by Sarah and Laura Hutter. I'm not sure if I've said that correctly, so please let me know how you pronounce that if that's not correct. And they're the creators of Named Clothing Patterns. Now, I've not made any of these before, so I'm looking forward to trying the ones out of this book. And the patterns do come on traceable pattern sheets like this. So it's very similar to the Burda style, if you ever have Burda magazine. So I've had that quite a few times before, and you trace them off onto paper in the correct size so that you can use these patterns again and again. Now, one's caught my eye, first of all, that I'm going to be trying out, so I'll share that with you now. So first up, it's this one, and it's the Sarastee, I think I said that correctly, the Sarastee Shirt or top. Now, you can make it as a shirt here, with the cut out shoulders, also as a dress. Let me find that. So there's the line drawing of the dress, so you can make it as a dress with, here we are, that's a better picture of it, with a little collar and short sleeves. And this one here is a sort of A-line blouse with a ruffle. Now I really like this ruffle detail. So this ruffle detail here, it's doubled over. So it's not got a raw edge that you hem. You double it over and sort of sandwich it in between this seam here, from what I can see. And it's got a nice little stand-up collar there and buttons down the front. Now I really like that one. That's the first one that I think I'm going to be trying from this book. Just pop that in there a moment. Now what I've got here are some of my husband's shirts. And I do like to recycle fabrics. Now these are shirts that he doesn't wear anymore for various reasons. In places they might have got a bit discoloured or they've been worn quite a bit. They're showing signs of wear. But there's quite a lot of good fabric on these. And what I'm thinking, now I may change my mind, so please let me know in the comments whether you think this is a good idea. Now, I really like this purple check. And because this is too big for me, obviously, because it's my husband's shirt, and it's got long sleeves, and this sort of blouse in here is sleeveless, there's quite a bit of good fabric I can use on that. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to dismantle it, use the fabric from the shirt, take the sleeves off, and maybe potentially use the sleeves to make that frill, that doubled over frill that goes along here. So I think that would be fabulous. Take the collar off and everything. Obviously I'll be using the cut pieces from the pattern. I won't be keeping the shape of the shirt. I'll be cutting new pieces out of the shirt and then cutting a new piece for the collar stand as well. Now I may need to do a few joins in places, because there's not going to be enough fabric to be able to just cut it straight off from the shirt pieces. I may need to do joins in there. That's one way of doing it. Now I do like to reuse and refashion, so I'm really keen on using that one. The other fabric that I've got, and it does tell you to use something quite floaty now, that's a cotton blend fabric, that shirting. This is a crepe. Now I keep getting this new bit out and thinking, will I use this? Yeah. I've still not used it. I think may have shown this before on this channel. So this is a nice crepe in this sort of teal aqua colour. This might be really nice in that blouse also. So I'm like that, which one to use? Do I do the refashion with the man's shirt and a bit of joining here and there? or do I use just a new piece that I have here and this crepe and go for it in that one? Let me know in the comments below which one you would like to see, and I'll make my decision this week and make it later in the week. So that's one thing. So that's my first pattern from this book that I'm going to be making. So that's the Sarastee. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong also. So that's pattern number 1. Now the next one that I've spotted that I'd like to make is this one. The Sade blouse and tunic. Sade or Sadie. And apparently that means rain. So this is a loose fitting blouse. And this one has vents in the sleeves. There is a tie and there is elastic at the bottom there. Now we'll look at the back image of this one. Oh, it's not elastic, it's ribbon, I believe, in the bottom of that one, look. So it crosses over at the back, so I like that detail. I'm not entirely sure how useful these would be on the wrist when you're doing anything. I think they would really, I'm quite clumsy, they'd quite get in the way, I think, the ties on the wrist. I may do the vent, but then just have it with some elastic there instead on the wrists, on the cuffs. I'll have a think about that one. I do like the style, but I'm not sure on the ties on the wrists. So you can make that one as a blouse, or it can be made as a tunic there in the line drawing. So that's pattern number 2 that I'm going to be making. Now again, I'm wondering whether to do that using some of these shirt fabrics, maybe a mixture of the blue and the white. I'll have a think. I have got another large piece of fabric that I might use for that one, or I might treat myself to something new. We'll see. So that's pattern number 2. Let me know how you feel about the tie cuffs. I would imagine that they're quite difficult to tie on your own as well, with them being a ribbon. Next up we have the Nume Bag. Now I will be making this one purely because I love making bags, and also it's a really good way of using up lots of pieces of fabric. So again, you could do that patchwork. So you could use up some of your scraps to make that. So it's a nice big roomy bag and also really useful and great for gifts. So I'm going to be making that one. So it's got really clear instructions, look. I think the instructions in this book are really clear, and it's got nice line drawings. There's another image of it. Now the Utu skirt and pinafore, that one's a really nice shape. So I am going to be making that one at some point, but I don't think I'll make the pinafore because that's not something I'd wear very often. But I like the crossover effect of the skirt. And I also like this one, and I feel that this has a bit of a look of the Freya top from Tilly and the Buttons. So if you can see that, it's got a similar kind of straight design with the high neck. The only difference is it's got this sort of side vent in the side here. Just take that pattern out. You can also make it as a t-shirt as well. I do like the knot dress with the knot in the front. That's quite a nice detail. I think that one would be quite comfy for wearing at home. And also this one is really beautiful. The Solina dress, jumpsuit and top. This one again though has those ties at the wrists. I'm not entirely sure about the practicality of those, but it does look really nice and dressy. And I love it in that pastel colour there. So I think I will have a go at, that's the line drawing of the dress. I think I will have a go at that one at some point. And I may do the ties, but keep that one purely for best. And you can make it as a jumpsuit also. It's a beautiful tie detail. They've got lovely lines, these designs. Now this particular pattern, the Castaic cocktail dress, I have put a piece of fabric in a basket and an online shop for this one. So I have got something in mind for that I'd like to make that out of. So that might be my next one after I've done this first blouse, the Serasti blouse. And there's different ways you can do that one as well. You can do it either straight like this. I quite like the straight look for the summer. Or you could do it with this floaty wing. I think that would be really nice if you've got a special occasion. I like that image of it there. With that sleeve, I think that's really beautiful. And there's the back image of it. And then finally in this one are the Palo Jeans. Now these are sort of patchwork, I don't know if you can see in that design, and they've got a sort of raw hem on them. They're quite unusual. There's the line drawing. Might be quite good for using up odds and ends of denim, those. So they might be something to try at some point, where I've got quite a few different bits of leftover denim. Whether I'd have enough to make these jeans, we'll have to see. So that's it for now on that. Did you spot any of your favourites, and have you made any of these patterns? Please let me know how you found them, how you found the sizing and the instructions, and which ones were your favourites. And I will be back later this week with this first blouse, the Serasti blouse. So that's the first one I'm going to be making up. I'm like that, whether to use the purple check or the teal crepe. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see it in, and I might make my decision based on what you'd like to see. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and have a look at some of my other videos. You might spot something you want to make there. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.